Grant Cardone's story is without a doubt one of the most inspiring. He's forthright, and his words are sometimes misinterpreted. He had a difficult time growing up, but despite his childhood circumstances and losing his father at an early age, Grant Cardone has gone against all odds to succeed. Today, Grant Cardone is a real estate investor, sales trainer, best-selling author, and speaker who has sold out entire venues, and at the age a little over 60, he's amassed a real estate portfolio worth more than $1 billion. What was his journey like? What challenges did he face? How did he become very successful? This and many more we will uncover in this video. Hey everyone, and welcome to Booked, where we inspire others with inspiring stories. In today's story, we'll go over the story of Grant Cardone and his companies. Cardone was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana on March 21, 1958. He lost his father to a heart attack 10 years later in 1968. Grant's father was wealthy and gave his family the best life. But as soon as he died, things changed dramatically for Grant and the rest of the family. Outside the numerous challenges Grant Cardone faced, he also recounted that he did drugs. He got involved with smoking marijuana, doing cocaine, and all sorts of hard drugs. Grant claims in his novels that he took every drug known to man. As he continued to engage in drugs, his complexion had deteriorated to the point where he described himself as gray. It was bad that his mother couldn't identify him when he arrived at the hospital. Grant claims that he would wake up with the intention of simply not using, only to grab for the substances he had just sworn off 5 minutes later. Grant blamed his bad drug lifestyle on the kind of people he hung out with. He was hanging around with such a horrible crowd of individuals. Like the saying, show us your friends and we will tell you who you are. The drugs affected every other area of his life. Although he graduated from Lake Charles LaGrange High School in 1976, he attended McNeese State University from 1976 to 1981, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Accounting. Grant claims that he squandered his time, majored in partying, during his undergraduate degree in Lake Charles, only to end up in debt and never work as an accountant. After college, he got a job as a salesman in an automobile facility but messed up while on the job. He couldn't retain a job and had become angry as a result of his drug addiction. It was not until the age of 25 that Grant understood he needed aid. He chose inpatient treatment in the hopes of making a positive change in his life and defeating drug abuse. His supervisor at his job wished Grant well and saved his job for him pending when he's ready to resume. Looking at the success story of Grant Cardone today, one can only imagine how he rose from the ashes of drugs to become a multimillionaire and one of the most sought speakers in the United States. At age 25, he was able to finally find himself back. He embarked on a 30-day treatment and came out of the facility having mastered the art of staying sober and avoiding his drug habits. He went back to his work and started a new journey to push himself to become the greatest salesperson in the field. He works non-stop to avoid having idle time and succumbing to the temptation of using hard drugs. Grant often says, if you want to meet the devil, have white space on your calendar. Building up again. On returning to his company after receiving treatment, Grant worked twice as hard and saved more money. He rose quickly to become among the top 5% of car salespeople in the US. In his former lifestyle, he spent most of his income on drugs, but with that addiction out of the way, he has more to save. Grant saved every penny he made until he was able to make large real estate investments. He began by renovating tiny single-family homes and subsequently moved on to bigger projects. He began giving sales seminars and teaching individuals he wrote bestsellers while also increasing his real estate holdings. Grant became wealthy beyond measure over time, thanks to a lot of hard work and a laser-like focus. His entrepreneurship journey. Grant Cardone didn't like sales. He took the job to survive, but became good at it somewhere down the line. Leveraging on his experience selling cars for over 5 years, Grant decided to start his company and teach people how to sell. Grant believed that the reason he was considered the top 5% salesman in the United States is because of his unique ways of closing deals. At the age of 29, he started his own company. Through his company, Grant embarked on a mission to alter the way people sell products. This was all before the internet, before buying services, before reviews, before any form of assessment of people's sales practices. And in the last 30 years, Grant has revolutionized the way people sell products. It doesn't matter if you're selling over the phone, online, or through a ClickFunnels. Having succeeded in the sales education training field, Grant Cardone took it a step further by launching a B2B model for his business and targeted top American companies. Grant began pitching companies in the United States and Canada. Grant had the idea of a sale to revolutionize the automobile industry to help improve their processes and make them more consumer-friendly, fast, profitable, and effective with both customers and dealers. Grant packaged this knowledge as a product and approached the auto businesses and convinced them to pay to learn about this concept. Grant recalls that he launched that B2B product with only $50,000. It's now 30 years old, and it's made at least $10 million a year since then. Another important source of income for Grant Cardone is writing. So far, Grant has written 7 books and 13 best-selling online business packages thus far. Cardone University and Cardone On Demand is also his brainchild. Grant believes that the education system is broken as it ends up piling up students' debts for Americans and not empowering them to be the best version of themselves. Grant created Cardone University and Cardone On Demand, online tools for sales organizations and entrepreneurs to address this issue. These platforms make it simple to get sales training on your phone, tablet, or PC. The Cardone's University and On Demand has made hundreds of millions of dollars, thousands of times more than it did with books. The list won't be complete if we don't mention Grant Cardone's real estate company, Cardone Capital, which is the mother of all his investments, and it's estimated to be worth over $1 billion. What a journey Grant Cardone has had. We hope you learned something from how he averted his drug addiction and became a successful person. Books recommendation. In this section, we shall take you through some of the books Grant Cardone wrote and recommended for upcoming entrepreneurs. Make sure to check them out. The 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. Break past business cliches and risk aversion while taking action toward your goals. It also explains why people get stuck in the first 3 steps and how to progress to make the 10 Times Rule a habit. To accomplish massive action results, learn where to start, what to do, and how to follow up with each action you take with more action. Learn how to calculate estimation of effort to make sure you meet your goals. Defy mediocrity by making the 4th degree a way of life. Learn about the time management myth. Find out why some people fail and others succeed. To solve a problem, you must know the specific formula. By definition, extreme success is outside the sphere of typical action. Rather than acting like everyone else and settling for mediocre results, use the 10 times rule to take tremendous action. Eliminate luck and chance from your business equation and lock in massive success. Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Everything in life can and should be regarded as a sale, according to the 10 times rule. Whether it's selling your company's product in the boardroom or selling yourself on eating healthy, everything can and should be regarded as a sale. And as sales expert Grant Cardone says, unfolding the fundamentals of selling is a requirement for any type of success. Cardone lays down the tactics and approaches required to master the art of selling in any medium in Sell or Be Sold. You'll discover how to deal with rejection, turn negative situations around, reduce sales cycles, and ensure your excellence. Cardone will also teach you the essentials of success. With the expertise of a seasoned sales veteran at the helm, Sell or Be Sold will revolutionize the way you think about sales and life. The Warren Buffett Way by Robert Hagstrom. The Warren Buffett Way is a first-of-its-kind look at the cutting-edge financial and business practices that have propelled Warren E. Buffett to legendary status. Robert G. Hagstrom Jr. traces Warren Buffett's career from the outset, explaining how, starting with a $100 investment, Buffett established a company empire worth $19.4 billion. Based on the author's 10-year surveillance of Buffett's various astute investments and enterprises, this book takes a careful look at Buffett's very successful investment theories and tactics and identifies the kind of enterprises Buffett now finds most appealing and which ones he avoids. The most difficult aspect of copying Buffett, according to Hagstrom, is having the courage to persevere with sound investments in the face of economic and market volatility. The new version delves further into the psychological underpinnings of Buffett's strategy. providing readers with the most comprehensive guide to mastering both the ideas and behaviors that have made him the greatest investor of our generation. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Benjamin Graham, the best investing counselor of the 20th century, taught and inspired individuals all over the world. Since its first publication in 1949, Graham's idea of value investing, which protects investors from significant error and educates them to construct long-term strategies, has made the Intelligent Investor the stock market Bible. Market developments have demonstrated the validity of Graham's strategies throughout time. This new edition includes updated commentary by prominent financial journalist Jason Zweig, whose perspective reflects the reality of today's market and draws comparisons between Graham's examples and today's market. This book helped Grant Cardone in his investment journey, and it can help you too. We can rise from the dust to the very top if we are willing to put in the effort.